would like my students to know that I'm a person who was interested in working with people and not just in delivering information, and that's why I went into teaching, especially as a scientist. That's why I went into teaching, and so that's what motivates me. It's what keeps me engaged in the process of teaching. It's a little kind of a secret that students probably ought to learn if they want to get good teaching out of their professors, is that the more engaged they are with their professor, the better their professor is at teaching. So it helps to maintain that engagement. A lot of it is about being interpersonally relaxed, but in a way that has to acknowledge the professional aspect of the relationship, which is that the professor has to give a grade, and so there has to be a boundary there somewhere that keeps the relationship professional, but there's an awful lot of space around that without having to get it in uncomfortable areas. So I'd say to my students that as long as it doesn't have to do with grades, and I'm happy to talk about my life or my interests or what I do at any time, and I think that having that communication with students makes me a better teacher when they're sitting in my class. Well, I guess it depends on what they're interested in. If it's just in terms of trying to maintain a closer relationship with a professor, with me personally, it would just be a matter of acknowledging the fact that we're both present here on campus. Hello, hi, how are you? Informal types of conversation. Sometimes my schedule is a bit heavy in the sense that I don't have time to stop and exchange more than a hi, how are you? It helps me out if I know the student's name. That's a very awkward thing for professors to be trying to communicate with students whose name they don't remember, and we often do that. So, especially at the beginning of the semester, be kind and remind us what your name is. It's okay. We won't feel awkward if we have to be reminded. But also, a lot of professors will leave it to the student to initiate an exchange, because of the fact that we don't want to be invasive into a student's life. We want to maintain that connection, but we don't want to make it obligatory. And so often there are certain students that we certainly have closer interactions with. But I think that you'll find that most professors really are motivated by that connection and are happy to have some time with any of their students, and we have a lot of unique opportunities for that on this campus. We have this whole week of having lunch with your professors, and professors are encouraged to come to events and to get involved in athletics and things of that nature. So when you see them outside of class, when you have that opportunity, I think that you should take every opportunity you can to say hello. Maybe not like in the grocery store, when there's strange items in the cart. We don't want that so much, but anywhere on campus is great. So